Okay. Uh, I just okay. I just went to the movie yesterday. Um, we just watched Spider-Man. Across the verse, the new one. I got Dutch Bros. I legit shot cockroach in my sister new car. So yeah, and drive through. Delicious. Let me tell you a story of my childhood school thing. So I remember I was just a little kid. I was like, don't really remember because I was kind of was a baby, but I can still remember this one. I could see some gopher. I know that's kind of boring. I just know that. So I remember there was the gopher. I like, oh, a gopher. I would like see, oh, is it there? Is it there? And then playing around, something like that. I remember playing in the playground while it's rainy, going to playing sand or playing, I don't know. But I remember playing monkey bars, so like, oh, playing monkey bars. And then, oh no, ugh, I fell down, and then a whoop chip was on my mouth. And like, ugh. Like, I think I was crying, like someone help me, like someone use a napkin like out on my mouth. So yeah, I can still remember that. After that, I remember when I went to elementary school. Well, it was a short time for that. It was so weird and everything. After school, everything was fine. And then I went to babysitter after school because I have to do that every time. Well, I don't want to. I don't care. I just want to stay at home in my old house. So yeah. So I remember this guy. He's like cool, Like, oh, I like him. He just like my school, right there next to me. So yeah, somehow it was so nice to meet him. Like, oh, I like to talk to him. So yeah, it was so fun. It's nice, and then I do so good in school. Everything doing like math or other stuff, going to other class or something like that. I have a picture of it, but you won't believe me. Trust me. It was this school. I could show you a picture of me. Where is where is it? Okay, I could show you. Hold up. So there's me right here. There's me. When I was a little kid, this was my teacher. So this is one of my friend, Calvin, right? Because my friend Johnson, this is his brother right there. So yeah, and yeah, and there's other people I know, like this person, this and this and everyone. It was so much fun, to meet them. So yeah, it was so lovely to meet them all or something like that. So yeah, everything was cool, and so yeah. And this is the guy I was talking about. This is the guy I was talking about. This guy, so funny. I think his name is Mercer Castillo or something like that. I don't know, but hey, so fun and everything. Like going running thing and everything. But after that, all the stuff. Oh wait, don't forget about this. I remember I went to another class, so yeah, that's all. After that, everything was different. Somehow, I went to this school, this elementary, because I have to say goodbye to school. I tell her I went to this house, in like 2016 before 2017 started. And oh wait, yeah, we moved here in 2016, and it was cool. I remember we went there, like, oh, during the party in my old house, like, oh, like a friend of me. So my sister and his friends, something like that, we went there, and it was so much fun. So yeah, And when I went to elementary, it was so cool. Like, so cool meeting this teacher named Miss Levichuk. I always call her a teacher or something like that because I was so difficult. But it was hard for me. I was like, oh, grandma, could we like that, and then I was crying and everything. I got a crush on this lady. So, yeah. So her name is Rihanna. I can still remember. I can't remember her face. I could kind of remember her. I think she have a tan thing. I think she have a green eye, a brown long hair, and the pointy thing. That's my favorite thing when she wear that. So funny. Yeah, I like her. I got a crush on her. On that class, it was so cool, and everything. So obsessed with Angry Birds and everything. So yeah, man, so cool. After that, when those thing was over, I was like, oh, I'm in third grade. I meet this. I asked some teacher, hey, am I going to her? Or like, no, not anymore because I went to a different class, like a other class. So when I went there, it was so cool, and then doing time and everything. So yeah, like it was terrible. I had to do like, oh, what's the books about everything. I hate that because I always forget them or everything. It was so difficult. So I failed. But hey, it was so cool. But after that, um, I remember when my teacher said, Miss Levichuk, saying, "Oh, AJ, thank you for coming for us," you know, and it was so lovely. And I said goodbye to her. It was a heartbroken thing. So yeah, um, somehow, like after that, it was so cool. I complete the time things, and then um, next was like my friend Emmanuel was having trouble on the thing because he was having difficult. He got like bad things. He got red carded. Like, he have a bad in class because it was so difficult. So I remember he was like watching have a device with him because in the class, oh, watching some things or something like that. He borrowed with him and the lecturer watching. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I remember like, oh, I was having a good thing and then want to say, uh, but so yeah, I say that word and then somehow it's one of my friend, one of my classmates named Daniel. Him. Somehow he's like just like, oh, teacher, he said, but like, oh my god, and then I got in trouble. And this is Daniel. So this is him. I'm pointing right now. Him. Yeah, that's him. So yeah, and I like, oh my gosh, I got a bad one. You know. So it was so difficult to my friend. Not gonna lie. Next one after that, I went to this teacher named Miss Geis, and it was cool. All this stuff and everything. I love to ask teachers like Miss Light like about making my own game like Mortal Kombat or making SpongeBob SquarePants all together, and then that literally don't happen because I was using that as imaginary thing. And then that's this teacher right here. Her name is Miss Light. She's cool. So yeah, it's all nice. So yeah. So there's this her right here. Her name is Miss Christy Arden. She right here. I'm pointing right now. That's her right there. I've talked to her a lot. And some other stuff. It's so cool. Like play my toys or something like that. I use that and I tell her. So yeah, it's all cool and everything. So yeah. So this is Miss Light. I found her. Uh, right there. Yeah, I'm pointing at. So, I still asking them all this stuff, still like both of them. In fourth grade, it was so good, it's so good. Like, um, in fourth grade, like having fun. And when I went to another class, like, well, in Manuel having difficult in this class and that class, like the other class I go, somehow he went to this next door right there, so he went to that. No, no, not my real class. I'm talking about the other class. Like when I go there, he went there because it was so hard for him. And also, excuse me. And also, I remember they asked me, "Oh, can I take AT this thing?" Like, oh, okay. And like, I just went there and I asked him. I just like, yeah, hey, do you know Happy Tree Friends? Oh my gosh, I legit shut up like, oh, I told her, like, oh, what does it mean? And I legit show it. So I went to like a something friendly. So yeah, that's how I was watching SpongeBob and think. So yeah, it's all cool, with her do some crazy stuff a little bit, like I don't know, but hey, it was funny, It's all cool and everything. Axel, I know him. So he's not there no more because I don't know what happened to him. He wasn't there in sixth grade, so yeah, I don't know what happened to him. So yeah, but yeah, next one was like MPE. After my PE teacher was left, after third grade, time to say goodbye to her because she was leaving. So I went to this teacher. Her name is Coach K. She's all cool and everything. So yeah, I like, it was so nice to meet her. So yeah, but it was quite difficult when I was doing, but it was something happened. I was like playing football and I don't almost hit her. I think her name is hold up, let me check. I think uh never mind, I don't see her at all. But I can tell you how she looked like. So she wear like blue glasses. She's Asian and have something, like tan or something. Black hair, like this, you know. But yeah. And also I asked was hit her hair the football, like legit right there. Like shoo. Did that hit her? It like that, and then I was out because for doing that. I'm like, I asked Miss Guide her, this what just happened. I later apologized, and okay. So I wasn't happy. I asked Brianna, oh, I got, got in trouble. So yeah, and also, next one was like, oh, this one of my friend, his name is Darby, you know. His Darby was like a crazy person, Used to be crazy, but I think he's still crazy this nowadays. But hey, so somehow I remember he was like doing some bad stuff and everything, and then I remember when I was in a line, like, oh, switch this. Hey, can you switch in lines? And yeah, sure, like this and this and that. And I got in trouble and I went to table 10. Saw big table 10 was like a bad thing because I like it's like a trouble one. So I went there and I was like crying and everything. And then this, I think those girls were like sixth grade, And then they're like, "Oh, what happened?" Like, I got in trouble, I got a walking ticket. I showed it to my parents on a text when I got home. And also, I remember I was in line, and then Darby was behind me, and I was touching my back, and I was feeling something. Something was wet. And like, so Darby was, put his hand, like, lick it or spit it, like, right there on my back. I think he spit it on my back. So so some classmate would take us to there, And then somehow he got in trouble, and then I went back and changed my shirt because they gave me this shirt and I changed it, and then yeah, so it was all crazy and everything. And there was some things after that. I saw this note on my drawers, something like that. He apologized to me. He said, "I'm sorry." You know, he gave me the notes, so he was neutral to me. I was neutral to him too. So I asked him this game, "Hey, do you know Dr. Sedge and Mordecai?" He's like, "Yeah, I know them." You know. So those sixth grade girls, I had like hi, like oh hi and everything. Like I know them like for like 2018, 2019, I'm like, oh, like they were saying bad words like whoa, 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 what are you saying? Or something like that, like so weird, like why are you saying those words? So yeah, I like them. I, they're probably in high school right now or something like that. So yeah, so cool and everything. So weird, I know. It's a weird story, but hey, I think it's gonna be more interesting. So yeah, all those school stuff. So yeah, I'd like and everything. So next one was a worse one. When COVID-19 came, it was difficult for us. When the principal announced, "Hey, um, we just noticed that COVID-19 was, something like that." Oh wait, I don't forget about this. I remember I was like they told me, "Hey," like one of my, I was doing my Miss Levichuk. She asked me, "Hey, you're gonna be on stage?" Like, wait, really? And oh, I got a ticket. I got the ticket and everything. I was doing good and everything. So yeah, but it's just so difficult for myself. But yeah, um, yeah. After that, when COVID-19 came, it was so bad. When I went to Mexico, I was like, "Oh, hi," and everything. It was boring. I hate Zoom meeting because it was so boring. Like, oh, doing nothing and everything. All you in is just Zoom meeting. So yeah. And also in fifth grade, I was Zoom meeting. Entire years, all years was Zoom meeting in fifth grade. So I was like, oh, on the Zoom meeting and miss guys. Oh yeah, and then I like, oh, watching YouTube. I'm like, oh, I'm just looking at Zoom meeting, just watching YouTube. I don't even doing the Zoom meeting. So yeah, and I remember in Miss Guys, I would type in something like, AJ, what are you talking about? I like, I was just doing something, like doing something work, something like that. And I got and doing and and like in PE, it was all cool and everything, doing workouts. So yeah. And next one was like, oh, next was like weird one. Remember that video? Like, oh, I came back, and came back. That don't know where the bandy D. So I got in trouble. Like, I didn't tell you this. So, okay, let me tell you. So the first one was okay. I was searching up. I saw this. I remember this image. A girl was holding like a whatever some weapon he's holding, pointing to the camera like something like this. So I tried to search it up, and I pressed the weapon or something like that, like some that the name, and I told my parents like, oh, you got in trouble with it. Like I got a call from the principal. I like and I'm like, oh, I was like searching for Fortnite. Like, why would you just put Fortnite? I'm like, oh, I know. So yeah, I got in trouble for searching those things. And we're watching Naruto game doing the oh oh just use your imagination. There was a Naruto game, but there's just Naruto and Sasuke and I forgot that they're character, but so they were doing they're doing their power uh I don't know. Just use your imagination. It was just a bunch of people with no clothes or something like that. Like, but it's just I don't know. Every girl's like, oh my god. It's I know it's so embarrassing for saying this, but I know it's so embarrassing. I feel embarrassing right now, but it's so weird. I know it's so cringe and everything, but I got in trouble for doing that, for searching up for this word, uh, sexy. So yeah, for saying for searching up. So I got in trouble. So stop doing that because I got in trouble for doing that. But yeah, the last time I saw Rihanna, she went in sixth grade. I don't know how, but I saw her in PE. So yeah, that was the last time I saw her. But right now, after that, it's all normal. I asked the teacher. She was like a bookmaker, you know. Her name is hold up. Let me check look for her name. And her name, I think her name is Miss Laurie Woodward. That's her name right there. So yeah, she was like a mix of books. She told us a story about her life. You know, her parents got divorced, something like that. You know, it was so sad, you know. But hey, next what was I tell her like about FNAF books, you know, and everything. So after that, when Zoom meeting was over, I went to class like, oh, it's all normal, and I'm so happy, you know, meeting new student and everything. But um, somehow next week was back to Zoom meeting. But something was funny after the Zoom meeting. I'm like, oh, all this stuff, you know. So one of my friend Emmanuel was like playing Roblox on the game on the computer. Like, oh my gosh, like how he doing that? You know, I have no idea how he's doing that, but yeah. And next one was after that, it was all normal. But I like, hey, we're going to take it to other classes. Like, oh, okay. So yeah. Um, I remember like, oh, going to Mr. Yolar, he's a math teacher, and Mr. Rowe and Mr. DeCarlo. Mr. DeCarlo is a history teacher, and Mr. Rowe is a science teacher. Oh wait, I don't forget about this in first grade. So I take Raina, you know, one of my parents' friends or something like that, you know, their daughter. So I taken her to home and I wait for his mom to came in every time. So yeah, I had to do that a lot. But someone is stopped because she get picked up. She's not in elementary school anymore. Well, I was with her, but after that when I was in first grade, she wasn't there anymore because she moved to a new school. So yeah. So yeah. Um in sixth grade it was so cool and yeah, going to class, Mr. Yoler and Emmanuel was like, hmm? Left the class, you know, because it was so hard for him. But yeah, this new principal like, huh? What happened to the other principal? Her. So I don't know, but she probably left. So yeah, and I was like, oh, in the class, and Miss Rowe and Mr. DeCarlo, it was all cool. It was so cool. You know, I never got a a, a man person of a teacher. So yeah, I got it before when I was in elementary of this other school and before this other elementary school. So yeah, it's all amazing. So yeah, and also so cool. Like and Mr. Yolar, I was like, oh, just doing math and everything. So yeah, my friend Aiden, Jonathan, and Johnson, I noticed them. They're like, oh, they're all cool, and I got a friend with them. You know, Aiden like sleeping because I don't know what he was doing at night or probably do something. I noticed that my friend Johnson was he's close to his other house right there because I remember my friend Calvin right there, like, oh, right there, it's like a little bit close right there. So yeah, and I noticed he went there like, hey, do you went through the house? Like your house is like this color. Like, oh, how you know? So yeah. So and Mr. Rowe, I was so good, watching the news of CNN and everything. So all cool and yeah. And also in Mr. DiCarlo learning history and no homework. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. It's all amazing. And then everything was cool. I was so sad it was my last grade, but I remember I was thinking, oh, it's testing time. What do I do? Oh, grab the paper, draw something. I draw some F&F paper, so I'll do stuff. I was drawing more, like more and more, and then I noticed I have this paper, like, hey, instead of doing the Mr. Yoler, I do this. I show it to Mr. Yoler and Mr. Rowe and Mr. DiCarlo because I was making a mod still. I'm still doing this still. I have other mod I was planning to do, but sadly it got canceled because it was too much work for me, so I only doing 4 mods. So yeah, but hey, somehow they like it, they love it. I was showing everyone about this, and then my friend Camelia, she was like, first time I seen her, I like, oh okay, I thought she don't like me or something like that. She was like, you know, somehow her name was Camelia. It used her name used to be Camelia, but somehow it changed to Gabby. So yeah, um, yeah. So all those stuff, all those good stuff, showing everyone like, and then this girl, her name is uh her name is trying to find her face. Mm. I was in Twitter team, and I was in Twitter team, so yeah. Her name is Miss Garcia. She would have a brown hair, wearing glasses, so it was all cool. And then I would like went there and I showed them of the picture, like wow, like they like it, and everything. I was doing this a lot, and sadly I had to leave, you know. I was on Twitter. I was in the picture of Twitter, and there's me right there. So that's me, and that's Gabby right there. And this is well, I was like, oh, time to do who's gonna be the president. Who's gonna be a president? I was a president, and then Gabby was my vice president. It was all cool and everything, but after that, she left. Sadly, she quit the team. Somehow, who replaced the vice president after she left because she quit? It was him. His name is Gabriel Martinez Barangan. He's right here. He's one of my vice presidents. So yeah, I'm like, oh okay. So yeah, but I like show her. I make a picture of her and principal and the vice president. Like, wow, they like it. They love it. So yeah. And then I went to the library every time, like, hey, I talk about Financial Freddy's story, like all this stuff, this books I'm playing right now. And like, oh wow, like she interesting and scary, like oh wow, it's scary and cool, you know. So yeah, and also these girls, those little girls and some boys and girls, until they're in 7th grade. Second grades and 3rd grade. Both of them like, oh, they call me potato. Like, wait, what? Like, oh, okay. And they keep calling me like it's so funny. So I love it. And then I was like, oh, it's all funny. And then Miss Scott's like, why are they calling you potato? You know. And then one of the second teacher, the second uh grade teacher, she was one of my other class teachers. Like, oh, why are they calling you potato? AJ, like, oh, I know, so funny, you know. She was like, it's all funny. So yeah. Oh wait, yeah, don't forget about this. So I remember Rihanna. I was about to go to the recess, in first grade, and then I'm like, oh, okay, time to go to recess, and then I saw her like, oh, hi Rihanna, like, oh, hi AJ, oh, can you go with me because I have to help her, like, yeah. So she was talking to me or something like that, like, okay, so yeah, um, it's all it's all amazing, like helping her, and after recess was over, so we go back to class, like, yeah. And the last day of school, like in second grade or third grade, so I go to to this place right here, like, oh, showing like a cowboy stuff or something like that, and like, oh, bullet, something like that, or kids are and the sheep were like doing like that, like, oh, so weird. So yeah, but it was so much fun to see it, and yeah, so it's all cool. Okay, next one was like in sixth grade during my time, like, oh, uh, like everything, like keep asking her like Miss Lights, all the stuff. So yeah, it's all cool. I have to say goodbye to them because all this amazing stuff, all this journey, and then those potato girls who are so funny. I have her. She's right there, next to the other neighborhood. She's right there, in a house, like the other house, the my neighbor right there and the other neighbor right there. So she's right there, close to the park. You know, it's so funny. And I remember in March running thing, running stuff. So yeah, like, oh, running and everything. I got rewards. So yeah. And then I was like, oh, I see everyone. Oh, don't have a stuff. Like, what of the girl like, come potato. Like, oh, hi potato. Like, oh man, I don't have a puppet. Here, you can have my puppet. Like, oh, thank you, potato. Like, I gave some stuff to everyone. It was so nice to them. I was so nice to them, giving stuff to everyone. So yeah, also good stuff. So I like went back to home like, oh, why you have a church stuff? Like my dad came, and like, oh, I give everyone some stuff, I because they don't have that. And then I remember when those potato girls keep calling me that. It's so funny. One of my cousin like went ballistic. I think she went to ballistic a little bit. My cousin, she was like, why stop calling him potato? You're bullying him. Like, wait, what? Like, there's some cover like, oh, right now, calm down. Like, no, like they're bullying you, AJ. They're bullying you, AJ. Like they're calling you potato. They're bullying you. Oh, I know. I think they're calling me potato because my face or something like that. I don't know. Am I shaped potato? I don't know. So yeah, but it's so funny when she like she wasn't happy, and yeah, it's so cool. It's so funny when she was like, rah, like everything. So yeah, and all those goodies, all those things, so fun. And then the last day of school, of sixth grade, it was so sad to say goodbye. I remember I went before the last day of school. I had to like, oh, we went to bowling thing, like, oh, bowling stuff, so much fun. I went to bowling. It's all cool and everything. Like, oh, I was quite bad on it, so yeah. And then, and last day of school, it's time to say goodbye. Let's say goodbye to my Miss Guys, Miss O, and Miss G. Say goodbye to Miss Lai and her. She love Raider. I love Raider too. So yo, and then one of those girls say, those potato girls say goodbye to me like, bye potato. Like it make me almost cry. Before our last day of school, um, like we're at the park right there, some party, like everything. Amanda was having bored before the end, like, oh, I want to go home and everything. I got some ice cream. I make some art to people, like, oh, I make an art to Yanje, her. I mean, she was a her before, but she wanted to be a boy. I was like, oh man, because when I noticed that one of my classmates and Merchant DeCarlo, like, oh, do you know Yonji used a boy prophet? Like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, Yonji want to be a boy. Like, wait a minute, wait, whoa, what? I was so confused. And then Jacob right here, I'm like, oh, okay. And I show like this art right here, the name Ash and Sarah Bear. They were doing like this with the art, like I showed her like, oh, no, like, he's like, no, like I show like, wait, what happened? Like, I showed her like, ah. So I showed to my friend Aiden about because Friday Night Funkin', but I show him that like it was like that. Before the running thing started. So yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. After that party was over. I was like, oh, I'm shocked. And then after that, also stuff like, oh, they gave me this thing to sing goodbye, all this stuff, and then when I forgot my yearbook, like my teacher gave write this down. I read it. It was so beautiful. It was like, oh, time to say goodbye. Like it was so beautiful. It's so sad to say goodbye. It was so much fun. Yeah, it's a crazy story. I forgot to tell you. Like when I was in this school, this school, I remember there was a lockdown. Like, oh, someone banged the door or something like that. And then this one, there was a cops came, into the school. So I'm like so scared because I was at cafeteria. And all this crazy story. I was walking this bridge, okay, so cool. And then someone told me, hey, don't walk there, you're gonna fall down. Like, oh, okay, I went there. Yeah. But yeah, those potato girls, her. I like this girl right here. I remember like, oh, you have Financial Freddy? Like, yeah, because I asked the library teacher to buy those 3 books, those scrapbook, and I borrowed it and returned it to her because it was so cool. Like, oh, I know Financial Freddy, like, he showed me like, oh, what, how she know all this game theory stuff or something like that. So yeah, it was so fun, and it was so funny. Like talking about Financial Freddy, like how would she know that, or how would she know? So yeah. When Mr. Rowe, my science teacher, when he told me, "Oh, I'm leaving," I was crying. I was crying like so hard, like, and then and when it was like other people was crying, not Mr. Rowe was something like why everyone was crying, like I was crying because I was hugging, like yeah, it was so cool, you know. Um, that school right there, it was so cool. so amazing. It was like time to say goodbye. It's time to move on to next school, to mid school. So I went to middle school. Like, oh, time to go to a new place. Like, oh, like join us, parents know and everything. I'm like, oh, amazing. I had some student like, oh, what school you going? Like, oh, some people say yes and some people say no. So yeah, sadly. But yeah, some people like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know like Emmanuel, but he went to TK. He went to middle school with me. I like, oh, he went for me. So I was so happy. So yeah, it was so funny and everything. So yeah, um, it was all cool. So in middle school, I was with Jonathan. Oh, hi Jonathan, because Jonathan wasn't there because he was at Philippines. Because he leave before the last day of school. So yeah, he was like, you know, I think he's there right now because he did that like last year, so he's going to do it again. So yeah. So um after that, like, oh, okay, also school stuff and everything. I see some classmates like during the summer, you know. Um yeah. So when I went to school, like, oh, okay, I went to this class right here, like, oh, all cool. So yeah. And then so weird, like, oh, everything. So all those stuff. So yeah. And then I I noticed that, oh, you're not in this class. So yeah, I was in this class before, but they changed it so that I was not in this class. So I moved to this teacher named Miss Adam. And sadly, I didn't get a yearbook because my mom say get a yearbook in 8th grade. Really? So when I got it, so I could tell you how she looked like. She have a long hair, like her hair, she all nice, and her name. There's the other teacher named Miss Klein. Have a blonde hair. So she looked nice. Uh, I remember I went to the fight in August. So I went to the fight my first time. Like, oh, I'm gonna, because I was like, oh, talk everything poop about him. So yeah, talking smack about him. So yeah, and oh, let's have a fight. I was pushing using Nightwolf, the Mortal Kombat move, like zoom thing, like pushing him and something like that. And the security was looking at us like, oh, we're all cool, we're all cool. And then we're fighting again, and then he look at us, we're all cool, we're all cool. And then I fight him, and then he look at us, we're all cool, we're all cool. And then we're fighting, and then we got caught. We got caught, and I was like, God darn it. So I'm back on the backstory of that kid right there. Him, he was like, oh, he went to a fight before in elementary. Me, I was all cool and everything, so all fine. So yeah, and I got in trouble. So I was crying, like not happy, because I went to fight. So yeah, it wasn't cool. And after that, it's all class walk normal, all and everything. I went to the fight again, and then somehow I was fighting this kid. It was more worse than my first time fighting, just like World War II fight. So yeah, so I was fighting him, and then he like hit me right there, and I used my leg like so yeah, and then my teacher, Miss Adam, she caught me like, AJ, that's not cool, AJ, that's not cool. I'm like, he was like, oh, you got it, ooh, like, I was like so mad, not happy, and I punched his back really hard, and then boom, hit his head back head. real hard, real hard. And I went to the office or right on the incident. I was mad, sad, so difficult. After that, we're all, him and me, we're neutral to each other now because um, we stopped fighting each other. And yeah, they're like, "Yo, AJ, you won, bro, you won," and it's all those stuff. And um, next one was like in health class. I remember I was like in health class, like, oh, learning something, and everything. So yeah, pizza. Whenever it's Thursday, every Thursday it's pizza time. So like, oh, pizza time, pizza time. We get there, it's so quick, and then they stop it because during my and the other class, some it was all like, oh, no running thing because people were pushing each other, something like that. Just like the concert in Travis Scott, all those people was pushing. Then they like I felt bad for them. It was so sad, but it's like crazy. I saw someone. I just want to like I saw someone throwing the bottle. So yeah, it's crazy. So and Halloween, I forgot to change my Atashi thing, but I forgot it because I didn't know. So one of my classmates just wear some, and their teacher too. So yeah. So my health teacher was her name was Miss Sora. She would just about them, kind of look like military, So yeah, she would tell me as a scary story or something like that. It was so sad to say goodbye to her because so cool and everything. So yeah, I remember I was in class like, oh, close the door, and then we're gonna say, I'm not gonna say it, but it's too inappropriate. But we're saying something our private thing of male and female. So yeah, we're saying it like, oh, this or that. It was so funny. Yeah. Um, Next one, I was in Rich Smith's class. I kind of fell on it, but hey, so weird. Because I was on my computer because playing Pop-Up Freeze Real. That's all. I don't even pay attention. I don't know why. So yeah, and yeah, I don't even pay attention. So during that time, like, oh, doing this or that, and doing making the music a song. I think it's called Down Mo Me Mama, something like that, and yeah. Next one was and during Mr. Smith, he told us a story. She like adopted this girl right here. She was in her class and then singing like she like crying and singing some smart. It was a belt one. So yeah, it's have a mark on his back. So yeah, and she like take care of her, take her to high school because and my sister high school, but she's not there anymore because she's going to college. But um, yeah, he was like, oh, like right now she married and working good, so yeah, she won't tell us what how how her children look like or something like that. So yeah, he told us some fun story. We're just because so like I'm not happy on you, AJ, because you wasn't paying attention. So I got a D, but I changed it to good grade. So yeah, they resaw it and it was B. So good job, AJ. Good job for not paying attention. Good job. Like how dumb are you? I don't know who. I remember when many of them they came. Are like, oh, I was in the bus, and someone showed me a video, some inappropriate video. Or I'm not gonna tell you, but it's too inappropriate because that happened to me like during the waiting for the gates. That this girl have a bunch of weird videos. I have no idea. Like a person have a watch on his private thing, and so someone showed me Nick Carper call like he was saying, oh yeah, if not what way, can I do this and then I'm not gonna tell you, but it's too inappropriate. So yeah, and then someone showed me that again before last day of school, like before tomorrow, like he showed me that, like I was laughing so hard and everything, yo. So I was like, oh, doing some crazy stuff and everything. So, yo, and some kids are like, I mess around this man, like, oh, he would chase me like, like something like that, So yeah, and then yeah, well, I went to art class, it was all amazing. Oh damn, like doing art, I love art. So it was so much fun, like everything, but it wasn't controlling English class. English class was right correct. So yeah. So in English, I like achievement 3,000, but we stopped doing that because we were doing Hunger Games, close to the end of school, like in May. So yeah, I don't know what month it was. I think it was April or May. Um, it's all cool. I remember I was in a shadow video, like in my wing class. Her name was Miss Stouch. It's all fun, like with her. We have a good family, like a family, but some classmates left. It's so sad. But some candy bars, we eat them like every Friday, but not every Friday because we always ran out or don't get it. So yeah, and Mr. Gould, I would say hi to him. And Mr. Gould class, it's all cool and everything, and having difficult in the test because I really hate tests because I don't like it. So difficult. So yeah, and it's so hard. So I have to practice, and boom, I did it. So yeah, I remember Miss McIntyre, my history teacher. I was like, oh, I was in Mr. There's a substitute teacher. Like, oh, okay. Like, I would like, oh, who's so, like, oh, I speak Spanish. I say, no, mom. I'm not gonna say the last word. And then she like, do you need to go to the Do you need to go somewhere? Like, no. Okay, and then so okay, we're gonna learn about like a China history, back in the history. So yeah, I put this sound. It was a video. Chi jack do do ha ho man do da do do. It was a person like have no neck or something like that. It was that video. I put that and then she sent me to drink some water. I like. God done it. I got done it, bro. Got done it. Like, oh my gosh. Like, what I done, bro? What I done? What I done to myself? How so dumb I am, bro? So, yeah. And next was like, oh, like, I just went there. I remembered another funny thing was, I would do this classmate right here named Jackson, like, hey, yo, dude, you're greedy. I like, sweet. Like, I asked McIntyre, hey, McIntyre, can I get water? Like, because he told me that to do that. And I was drinking the water. And then I was like, yo, let me in. Like, another door. And then I like, so this girl, like, okay, I like, open it. And then, yeah, let go. Like, hey, let me in. Hey, let me in. And then some classmate, like, was recording me, like, because I was in the door and then they let me in. And I'm like, oh, finally. Jackson was acting like a jerk, to me because, yeah, like, like a dumb head. So, yeah. I like spraying tiny water, because I didn't like it. Some people didn't like him. So, yeah, I messed around with him because I was joking around and then he took it so seriously on me and I like, whoa, stop. Why will you just ignore me? He's saying, I can't ignore you because it's so difficult. I like, it's like I showed some like funny video to one of my classmates because I was so weird. I went and ran away and everything, I take care of him whenever he feels sad. I take care of him. You know, he did went there in the first day of school, but because he was sick because he got COVID-19. Because I remember in September after that dentist thing when they fixed my teeth, I got sharp one because one of my classmates saw me in the dentist time. So yeah, it was so funny. And also, um, I got sick. I got sick because I got COVID. I got COVID-19 because I like, oh, because my sister was sick and she like, oh, I got sick. So I drink something with water but I drink my sister water. So never share someone who drink it because always give it yourself. Like whenever they're sick, like, mm-hmm. Always put a notes on your thing because you don't want someone to get sick. So I was sick, I was sad, like I had to do my work and everything. So yeah. Remember in Rich Smith? I asked everyone. This is how I started when I got a lot of subscribers. I asked them, hey, can you subscribe to me? I have this YouTube channel. And I asked everyone, everyone. And I was getting a lot of subscribers, Look at this subscriber right now, 306. And they asked me, what's your TikTok? Oh, this one, And everyone. They asked me in the bus and school and everything. It's so much fun. Some student was fun with me, So, yeah. Another one was like, after that, some people just was trolling me on subscribing like, I don't like that. I don't like that, So I hate to listen to subscribers. So, yeah. Yeah. So, during that time, I remember in November, this lady right here, I really don't like her. She like fixed computer or something like that. She was like an old lady, but I remember I was in English class. I was frustrated. It was like in my birthday, it was in my birthday time. And I go, I smashed my computer and this bottom right here. That what happened? And then it was glitching, and one of my classmates like, oh shoot, he was like next to me, and then he was trying to close it or something, and finally it's close. And I had to go to there because my health teacher sent me there. So yeah, and then I like, oh, like this. There's a cracker there. Like I try to explain her, but she, keep mumbling, bro. So yeah. So yeah, she kept talking and gave me this computer. And like, oh no, don't give me this computer. No. And then my computer is now like broken because I think I was trying to fix it to clip this thing because Jackson was touching my computer like something like that, And then it got broke, so yeah. So during that time, all those stuff, it's all cool. But I was a crazy person, so yeah, So it's all cool. After that, I remember I saw this funny video on my app like, oh, Rice Gum Baby or something like that. I showed a video of this weird video like, oh, it's just a guy doing some weird stuff or something like that. I searched it on my computer, like, how is that even still there? How is that even in YouTube? Because one of my friends Kevin like, oh no. So, yeah. And I literally showed everyone of the video, and then I almost got trouble by this teacher. So yeah, the vice principal, and then the vice principal got me. So they forced me to ask my parents. So yeah, and then I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I got in trouble, and then I like, yo, dude, I just got in trouble. Like, like teacher, like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, no. And then one of the teacher. He's not a teacher, like something like that. But it was Emmanuel, one of the teacher who helped him. So yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got in trouble for doing that. So yeah, so I almost got in trouble. And then I like, hey yo, they want to know this image. I was showing Wolfenstein this weird this most evil man with a friendly mustache. So you're like, oh, teacher, teacher, like, hey, shut up. Like, I'm gonna put super glue in your mouth. So yeah, I like, okay. So yeah, so weird. Oh, I forgot to ask this. I forgot to add this up. On third grade, I remember I I was feeling like, oh, I need to pee and take a uh take a poop. So yeah, and I like, oh man, the bathroom look ugly. So I wave at her, ding. I still having that thing, and like, oh, fine. Oh, I like, oh my god, I had to wait for like 2:10 because that's my time I leave. Okay, go back to the seventh grade story. Although after that thing, I apologize to that vice principal, so I stopped doing that because yeah. People ask me, how the heck you do not get in trouble for search up this illegal people who are so illegal to search up? So yeah, um, yeah, so weird. I did not get in trouble. I'm so lucky. Doing Google Run and Richard Eunice, all those stuff, and then someone recognized me. This girl right here. Um, I don't have her, but I could show her how she was look like. She was in my elementary school. So, hold on, I'm gonna find her for sure. Let's see, So, I think she's somewhere in here. Hold up. Hold up. I think I will find her. Hold up. I'm trying to find that teacher, but yeah. Oh, okay. I found this girl right here. She was my principal. Used to be my principal. Elementary. So, yeah. And I can't find her, but I can tell how she looked like. She have a little bit of blonde hair, wearing a glass, like a circle one. She's nice, I like, oh, like she have a family, I asked about my family because we have two people who are the evil people in history. So yeah, and yeah, it's all neutral, and then she found me there. So it was so cool, have a party, all those stuff, and like after that, my principal asked me to that day, like okay, have a party, ooh, like do the rope thing. I won, we won, we won. So yeah, it was so much there to end of the school. So you know, all those stuff, When pizza thing came back, I like, oh, pizza is back. So yeah, we're all happy. So remember, I was at a bus in the morning and like, hey yo, look at this uh oatmeal thing. Like man, it was so good. And then I was like, wait a minute, was that me? Was that me? Because there was a picture of me and my sister right there, and then my dad right there. So yeah, it was a picture of me. Like I think he took it like 2 times. He took it 2 times. So yeah, I saw like other students too, and like because I was eating some ramen and I got food, so I finished it. So yeah, and yeah, like all those stuff, before the end of the school, it was all great and everything. After that kid who showed me the Negro Dakota thing, I was like, I didn't know the shit. I was singing that song, like in the bus, like, oh, like AJ, AJ, AJ. They're yelling at me, like they're saying AJ, AJ, AJ. They were shouting out loud, like AJ. So much funny. I saw my friend Calvin right there, so yeah, it's all cool. And then after that, all those things are over. I was like, time to leave, And then everything was great. I remember in the gym having fun. Oh, I forgot to add this up. So I remember this guy right here. He was an eighth grade person. Like, hey yo, let me, how far? Like, what was that? Someone hit me. Ah, like the it was a pin stuck in my thing, and the one like it was bleeding. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I got mad at him. I was happy. So yeah, I was so angry at him. So yeah, um, yeah, I forgot to add that up. But hey, it was everything went back to normal. So yeah. So after school end, it was like so weird right now. My sister graduated at, at school, you know. Friend Johnson went to Philippines for vacation. So yeah, remember that I forgot to add this up in third grade. I think his name Vinny. Remember that video Vinny? Um, about him. He was love Fortnite, but he's saying bad words a lot. But he sadly moved to Las Vegas, but he was saying a lot of bad words. So yeah, and that was my story. That was my story of my school childhood. All those stuff. And then I forgot to say this about my computer right now. It's like broken, but it's still alive. I don't know how, but yeah. Hope I don't snap it. So yeah. But hey, all this stuff, I was so crazy. This crazy person, saying a little bit bad words. So you know, telling some crazy jokes. And yeah, playing cool math games nowadays. So right now, I'm planning to be normal. Been a long time ago. Something like I showed them like in the last day of school. So yeah, everything went back to normal. I want to be normal. I just want to be a crazy person. So yeah, that was my childhood of my school. Sorry, this is going to be like a longest video. I know it's like a 1 hour, but sorry about that. So yeah, goodbye.